Midoriya, what are you doing? By Snowboo69. Read by My Lost and Found. Summary. Midoriya uses Gen Z terms. First, it was just him and the first holder of One for All. Then, it was them plus the rest of the InsomniaSquad. Then, they created a pseudo-cult about Gen Z terms and gained more members. What's next? AKA, Midoriya Izuku uses Gen Z terms / humor, and a lot of people don't understand, because Gen Z life was before quirks, and so Izuku cultures them. This is part of a series, but you don't need to read the others to understand this fic. This fic is about 3,200 words and 1 chapter. It is rated teen and up audiences, and no archive warnings apply. This is the 4th work in the series in which Midoriya Izuku is Gen Z in spirit. As always, link to the fic is in the description, and on with the story. Ah yes, another day in Class 1A dorms, another peaceful, read chaotic, day when absolutely nothing went crazy. Nope, only calm, peaceful students here. What? Izuku is being chaotic again? Surely not. Sato is just making some pudding here. Nothing else going on. A loud scream sounded from the kitchen where Sato was. What's going on there? Your bathwater tastes bad! Sato just looked so sad and confused at that moment.
Midoriya? That's not bathwater. It's pudding?
Izuku, with a disappointed face, not to Sato though, replied with, I shall teach you the ways, my son. Cue more confusion from Sato.
Your son?
You have much to learn. Kirishima, Kaminari, and himself were all playing some peaceful, hopefully, Mario Kart. It was supposed to be a fun little thing to do, yet somehow it dissolved into arguing. This is why Hitoshi didn't like to be involved in game night. Kirishima was the one carrying the argument right now.
Shinsou, there's no way you didn't cheat.
Or I'm just better than you.
No way. Moo Meadows is one of my best tracks to play. I always get first.
Maybe you're getting old.
We're the same age.
Kaminari tried to butt in, bless his soul. But goddammit, he was going to win this argument.
Guys, how about we both calm down and play again?
Both himself and Kirishima basically yelled in unison,
No!
While Kirishima was, presumably, caught off guard by Kaminari, Hitoshi just looked Kirishima dead in the eyes and said, Your mom downloaded Mastercraft instead of Minecraft. Kirishima let out a small gasp.
Really? Your mom jokes? Damn, I didn't think you could go so low.
Kaminari butt in again.
Wait. What's Minecraft? You're confusing me.
Hitoshi, all but forgot about the argument that had just happened, responded with, You poor sweet summer child. Let me tell you. Kirishima was the next one to speak.
I thought you didn't like to recruit people.
Fuck off, Janet. Let me have this one thing. While Hitoshi was teaching Kaminari about Gen Z humor, he didn't realize how, as the more he explained, the more Kirishima got more and more scared. Who, slowly backing up, muttered out a small,
This is a terrible idea.
After teaching Kaminari Gen Z humor, he basically used it in every sentence. The only one who might use it more is Mito, but then again, he is the Lord and Savior of the cult. Right now, they were in a free period, and himself, Kirishima, and Kaminari were all huddled around Mito's desk. Kaminari was reciting a couple of memes. The one at the moment was, "This sentence is grammatically correct, but it's flirty and hard to sneeze. Luckily, Germany can help." Hitoshi just zoned out Kaminari's consecutive memes and looked over to Kirishima, who whispered out, "Now you understand." Also in a whisper, Hitoshi replied with, "Understand what?" "That telling Kaminari about the cult was a bad idea. Now we won't stop using the terms and jokes." Hitoshi took a second to ponder, just to realize that Kirishima was a tad bit right. "I guess I see it. I see why you didn't want me to teach him, but at least new cult member?" Kirishima also took another second to presumably ponder. "I guess." Aoyama, for some reason, joined the InsomniaSquad. He just said that he was stalking Midoriya, which Izuku had already known, but is still creeped him out a bit. And that he just followed them. Izuku's first response to the situation was, "Excusez-moi de la fuck?" Aoyama looked surprised and interested. "Oh, someone else knows French?" "Well, not a ton, but just enough for the shits and giggles. How about I teach you the way?" "Sure, monsieur. Sounds lovely." Shoto was very confused. For the past month or so, Midoriya hadn't been hanging out with the Deku Squad as much. It wasn't that big of a deal in the beginning, but as the month went on, he basically never hung out with them. And he was finally ready to ask him about it. So after class, before Midoriya headed back to his dorm, Shoto asked him if he could come to his dorm room, which is where they are right now. "So, Todoroki, why am I here?" "I wanted to know why you aren't spending as much time with us." He wanted to inch into it, and not be as blunt, but there goes that plan. "Do you mean not spending as much time with the Deku Squad?" "Yes." "Well, wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy?" A pause from both sides. The longer the seconds tick by, the more red Midoriya got, and the more confused Shoto got. "Wait, no, that's not what I mean. It just came out because I didn't have a response. Just ignore that." Sure, continue." Midoriya got noticeably less red. "But you see, well, it wasn't intentional, really. I mean, you're great and everything, but, well, I guess I feel like you guys didn't understand me. Not that it's a bad thing." Midoriya's hands started flailing around, something that everyone kind of just got used to. "You see, Midoriya started looking around at the floor. Midoriya eventually looked up said floor, with a lot more confidence, asked a simple but effective question. "Do you want to be in my cult?" Would it make his father mad? Probably. But that's the whole point of his life. So, with just as much confidence, he replied, "Yes." Tokoyami and Jirou had been arguing over what bands were best for their past 30, 40 minutes, and Izuku was getting tired of it. It's just all personal preference. So when the argument started turning to yo mama insults/jokes, he just buried his head deeper into the pillow his head was already buried in. Your mama this, yo mama that. Yo mama better start preparing their funeral soon if they don't shut up. Shinsou wasn't doing anything to stop it, and he had somehow gotten popcorn, sat down next to him, and just watched. Eventually, after what felt like an eternity, Shinsou just randomly committed. "Wow, the two emos are fighting." Which, to be fair, did stop the argument entirely, but still. They were the InsomniaSquad, They were all emo. So Izuku showed this by smacking Shinsou's head, before also commenting, "We're all emos, dumbass." Izuku was in one of his little meetings with All Might, and he had asked how he was doing, so might as well mess with him a little. So his response was, "Ooh, I'm mentally ill," and then just almost died laughing. The kind of laughing where you fall over if you're standing, or you fall off wherever you're sitting. And while Izuku couldn't see All Might at that moment, if he was able to see him, he would see just pure confusion and concern, all painted over his skeletal face. It was supposed to be a calm study session, yet Kirishima and Kaminari were having a vine off. Does that exist, or... Izuku doesn't really know how these little moments happen. It just does. Right at this moment, Kirishima was reciting a vine.
What the fuck is up, Kyle? No, what did you say? What the fuck, dude? Step the fuck up, Kyle.
But is also just staring at a wall. No joke here, he is literally just reciting a vine. To the wall. Shinsou, Jirou, Tokoyami, and Dark Shadow, but that's a given, and Kaminari were either trying not to just start laughing, or were laughing like maniacs. Once Kirishima stopped yelling at the wall, he just crumbled into a ball and also started laughing. It was all in good fun, of course, so Izuku joined in the laughter. And while all of them were dying of laughter, Kacchan appeared like some kind of cryptic demon, just out of sight of everybody but himself. He didn't remain out of sight, though, after he started yelling.
What the hell are you doing, extras? You're supposed to be studying!
Kaminari was the first to stop laughing, and so he was the one to answer.
Hi, Baku bro! Why don't I tell you about our Lord and Savior, the one true leader of our cult, Izuku Midoriya, and why you should join our cult?
Bakugo just replied, yelled, back with,
"Why the fuck is Deku the leader?"
And Kaminari just continued to reply to him, almost like an argument. God damn it. When will people stop arguing? Is this what Aizawa-sensei feels like? 'Cause if so, Izuku has a lot more respect for him. Class 1A was going to the pool today, even though Kyouka would rather spend the day in her room. Swimming wasn't her favorite thing to do, yet Momo asked her, which was the only reason she came. You might call her a simp, which, to be fair, she is. But she also couldn't ignore Momo's puppy eyes. Kaminari playfully teased her about why she came, and Kyouka was determined to find a way to tease him back. She knew Kaminari had a very small crush on Kirishima, and she had a hunch that Kirishima liked him back. So while standing on the two sides of the pool, she saw her perfect chance. Sneaking up behind Kaminari and Kirishima in the hot tub, she said in both of their ears, "Two guys chilling in a hot tub, 5 feet apart 'cause they're not gay." And then just left. Safe to say, after she left, Kirishima and Kaminari were both having a little gay panic denial reaction. Hitoshi and Eri were both hanging out in the teacher's lounge, Hitoshi watching cat videos, and Eri working on some of her math homework. Most of the teachers were there other than 13 and All Might. Scratch that. Only All Might wasn't there, since 13 just walked in. 13 says, "Hi, Shinsou. How have you been?" And bless their kind, sweet soul. Too bad they're going to get corrupted now. He's made up his mind, and it's time to corrupt some UA teachers. "Oh, hi. Thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage." The other teachers all just turned around at the same time. At the same time, 13 just asked, "I'm sorry, What? Hitoshi just sighs and responds with, "Here we go again." Class 1A is doing another group exercise with Class 1B, where there are 10 teams of 4 that they're all doing like a giant capture the flag. Izuku's team is himself, Shinsou, Monoma, and Kendo. So a pretty good pair up, and he's honestly pretty happy with it. They had already set up their base, and Kendo had suggested that while they were waiting for another team to show up, they might as well get to know each other. Izuku starts first. "What up? I'm Jared. I'm 19, and I never learned how to read." Kendo, bless her heart as well, asks with genuine confusion, "But your name isn't Jared, and you're the same age as us. What?" Shinsou mumbles out a question, undoubtedly for him. "New cult members?" Izuku was seen as their cult leader, and that wouldn't be changing for probably a while, so might as well give in to it. So he nods and responds with, "New cult members," before filling in Monoma and Kendo about their cult thing. Shoji, Ojiro, and Koda were coming up to Fumikage. Why were they? Did they need something from him? He was trying to revel in the darkness, because he didn't want to talk to people. It was awkward for a bit, just himself and the group, staring at each other, before Shoji must have made up his mind. "Do you want to hang out with us? We were planning to go to the mall and thought you might want to come." I'm not finished." A pause that could kill anyone from secondhand embarrassment. "Oh my god, could you let me do what I need to do?" Shoji was the one to talk first again. "I'm sorry. Do we bother you?" Fumikage mutters to Dark Shadow, who was kinda just there. "Dark Shadow, help them out of the darkness."
Hell yeah! Guys, don't listen to Fumi. He's just in a silly, goofy mood.
"Fuck off, Janet. I'm not going to your fucking baby shower." All of the other girls in Class 1A just looked confused. Mina spoke up.
We just asked about girls' night.
"Oh, shit. Right. Kyouka is so stupid sometimes." "Oh, right. You don't know. Well, might as well explain. So basically, I'm bringing you guys into a cult." I wonder what Class 1A is up to. Let's take a look at their dorms. Oh, that's right. Class 1A is having a talent show. How silly of me. How could I forget what Eri wanted to do today? And speak of the devil, Eri is giving her performance right now. Shinsou, Midoriya, and Eri are all doing a skit together. Of course, the other students don't know this. Shinsou starts off with, "I brought you frankincense," and handing some yellowish rock to Midoriya, who is sitting on a chair. Midoriya, "Thank you." Eri, whose little chaos gremlin side is coming out,
"And I brought you myrrh."
She's hiding something around her back, presumably a brownish rock if she's the same as Shinsou. Midoriya again, "Thank you." Eri, who now pulled a toy Nerf gun from behind her back, which was definitely not what the rest of Class 1A was expecting.
Murder!
Midoriya just gasps before saying, "Judas, no," and then pretends to fall over and die after Eri shoots him with said Nerf gun. Which, to be fair, it must have hurt. It's a Nerf gun. Point-blank range to the chest. Then all three of them get up and bow to the classmates, who are confused, and to the classmates that know. During dinner one day, with no explanation, Kaminari, in his best impression of the number 15 voice, just states, "There are rats in my ravioli.
I didn't order no ravioli. Sero, who was the second person who heard it, looked down on Kaminari's plate and just saw regular ravioli. Izuku was the other person who heard it and saw that Sero was confused. God damn it, Kaminari. Now he has to explain the cult to Sero. During one of the InsomniaSquad's meetings, Shinsou fell asleep, and Kyouka is in a silly, goofy mood. So she gets up to get a glass of water. Then she proceeds to pour said cup of water on Shinsou's face. Shinsou, probably still half asleep, just sits up and says, "Hello?" Kyouka was thrilled. "You did a vine even when you were asleep!" Mido looks like he's somewhere in the 5 stages of grief, while Tokoyami just comments, "Not all can find the light in all of this darkness, especially in their sleep." Dark Shadow, who is Tokoyami's interpreter,
Fumi means that Gen Z humor is very addictive.
Aizawa was getting bored. Nothing was happening in classes. So he made a deal with both Nezu, read Rat Bastard, and Vlad King, where Monoma would be in Class 1A, while Ida would be in Class 1B for a week. Vlad King easily agreed, while Nezu just hummed while shrugging his shoulders before saying,
"Why not? Sure."
So on the first day of the week during homeroom, Aizawa said to Monoma, "Go ahead and introduce yourself." Monoma started off with, "My name is Michael with a B, and I have been afraid of insects my entire life." Aizawa didn't know how Monoma knew about Gen Z humor. Problem Child probably somehow introduced him to his cult thing, or whatever. Time to play along. Stop. Where? Monoma. Where's the bee? Monoma quite literally jumped, maybe 1 or 2 feet in the air, screaming, "There's a bee!" All of his hellspawn just laughed. Seriously, how many people had Problem Child recruited? And the rest of the day went on, and the rest of the week was more chaotic, which was exactly what he had hoped for. Midnight had asked Jirou what her sexuality was while the InsomniaSquad hung out in the teacher's lounge room, while Jirou just responded with, "I'm lesbian." Shinsou just fucking arose from whatever slumber he was in to say, "I thought you were American." Izuku just did a material girl eye roll, which had taken him forever to learn, but now that he knew, he was using it 24/7. And responded to Shinsou, "The things you say for jokes." Midnight just snorted at the conversation and moved on without asking every teen in the room if they had a crush or not. Chio wasn't even surprised this time that Midoriya broke another bone. Shinsou had brought Midoriya in, saying that he had a, probably, broken arm and a concussion. And after he brought Midoriya here, he stayed as well. Once making sure that Midoriya would be all right, she went to go grab some of her gummies so once Midoriya woke up, she could actually heal him. And when she came back, she came to see the sight of Shinsou yelling, Miss Keisha! Oh my fucking gosh, she fucking dead," in Midoriya's ears, while Aizawa's bright yellow sleeping bag was in the corner, probably with him in it. She just sighed, before calmly stating,
"Shinsou, Midoriya has a concussion, so please leave him alone. Concussions can kill people, and if you didn't bring him in my office, then he could have died, or if he was lucky, gotten brain damage."
Midoriya chose that moment to wake up and respond back to her. "You call it a near-death experience? I call it a vibe check from God." Aizawa, which she was right about being in his sleeping bag, smacks Midoriya on the back of his head. Chio had enough of them today, so she smacked both Shinsou and Aizawa with her cane
until they were out of her office. She really isn't paid enough for all this. Aizawa-sensei was writing something down on the board, going on about something Denki couldn't really understand. So he leaned back to Kirishima, whispering, "Bet you I can hit Aizawa-sensei with a piece of paper without getting in trouble." Kirishima paused for a second, before replying with, "I'll give you 700 yen if you can." "Deal." And so he created a ball of paper, before throwing it over Ojiro's head and into Aizawa-sensei's back. Aizawa-sensei stopped whatever he was saying and turned around before saying, "Whoever threw that paper, your mom's a hoe." Ida, the poor soul who Denki just realized still wasn't informed of the cult, cried out, "Aizawa, that is not very appropriate language," while sitting up sharply. Aizawa-sensei just stared at him until he sat back down, and must have decided the roast was enough and continued to teach. After class, Denki did get 700 yen, but also got a roast to the soul. Izuku was, not really, but kinda, furious to his followers. Directed to Ida, he just said, "You absolute heathen! Why aren't you cultured?" And then Izuku turned around to face the entire common room, yelling, "You guys, why wasn't Ida informed?" Poor Ida just responded with, "Was I supposed to be informed of something?" And that is all for this PODFIC. It has been too long since I recorded one of these. Literally, I did mean to record one of these way sooner, but I don't know, it just kept getting pushed back with everything with the voice team. But here I am, eventually. I'm here on the night of my brother's graduation from high school. I'm all dressed up and everything, because I'm gonna go in less than an hour or whatever. But I had some time, and what better use of my time than to podfic this lovely fic. There was one of these that I'd literally never heard of before. It was the one with Tokoyami when what's his name again? Oh no. It's Shoji. When he was with Shoji, asking about the mall stuff. I had never heard of the I'm not finished. Oh my god, can you let me do what I need to do? So that was fun looking that one up. But no, yeah, these were again such fun callback memes. Just great. I love the cult growing, and just Ida at the end being the only uninitiated, being so confused. And I absolutely am all here for Aizawa joining in. Your mom's a hoe. It's lovely. I'm really enjoying this, and I hope you guys are too. Anyway, that is all for this podfic. Yes, I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, the link to the original fic is in the description. Go to it. Go leave a kudos. Go leave a comment. I am sure the original author appreciates it. Anyway, that is all for this time. I will see you guys next time.